because it didn't actually formulate quick
Right.
enough before the wedding.
So you sort of said in passing, like creating an intimate event. Um, I really, especially with poetry in modern times, I would really consider that to be your biggest challenge is creating an intimate environment. Do you think about that at all, or do you just sort of let it happen?
I mean, I think I've seen a few situations like So Far, if you've ever heard them, they do shows in the city. They actually pick great venues for that intimacy. But it's not only just choosing the right venue, it's also choosing the right performer. You know, just like back in the day when they do Unplugged on MTV. Not every band
Right,
was unplugged. You know, Megadeth wasn't unplugged. You know, there had to be a certain type that was able to cross over, and that's what you're really trying to cross over because the when the music gets lower down, it automatically becomes more intimate, and that's one thing that I've been trying to do. One of my I call it like my quarantine ideals that I learned from being in the quarantine and shut down was that I
right,
needed to communicate on a more ground level without so much music in my background. So I cut it down to working with duos and trios instead,
right.
and also working with singers and learning to harmonize and poetry at the same time, kind of like you would see in a rap song, the verse and the hook, same kind of thing. So
Right.
it's teaching me to communicate in a more effective way, I think, and really get the message out there because you only have a certain amount of time to get that done in life. And I felt it imperative to do it basically at this point.
Terrific answer. I agree. There is a lot of gold still to be found from our time in quarantine. Um, we were talking to set this up. Literally this weekend, you are in Long Island recording your audiobook. Um,
This past weekend, actually.
Past weekend, right? Okay, so how did what are the circumstances? Did you choose Long Island? Is there a studio? I mean,
The studio is called this studio called Studio Noir in Long Beach, New York. And I recorded my first record at that location. And I've known the owner of it, Benoit, for close to 20, 25 years now.
wow,
I used to do shows with him down in the city. When
terrific.
we started performing live. We were even in a band called Element back then. That was kind of a forerunner of the Adam
I've
family.
heard of
And
heard
so,
of it. I've heard of Element.
so we've been working for many years, so it's very easy to go down there and work with him. He knows my poetry through with music and without music. So he runs a great operation down there. He's part of a group called Arts and Plaza. And they do an art. They do display art made from sandstone and all stuff that people crafted. It's a craft kind of program. He does the music for it, and it's every Saturday and Sunday. It starts let's see, Memorial Day, I believe, and then it goes all the way through October.
Oh, wow.
He's been doing that for 10 years, so he's really wired into that organization, that whole community down there, which is a great community. I easily go down there. I did 47 poems in I think we did it. It took me about 6 hours to record 47 poems.
You did 47 poems in
Double
six
takes.
hours.
Yeah,
What's
double
that?
takes of each. About 2 takes of each, generally.
Fun.
Yeah. So some poems as far as 5 pages, some as much as 3 lines. Like a red wheelbarrow
Right,
kind of poem. So
right.
as once we started doing it, it was really methodical and then very effective, and I'm really excited about it. So now the editing process, obviously, which is something you can help me with as well. And then
That's very worth being excited about. I mean, I have sort of noticed, like, I mean, I don't think I'm the only one, but like in my own experiences in a recording studio, You know, like, you know, in my experiences, you know, a lot of the times I kind of want to like linger and like dig for gold, you know, like, so how are you like, and even if you're not, I still think 47 poems in 6 hours is pretty wild. So how'd you do that?
Well, I think definitely with Benoit, it's easy to get off track. Take out his keyboard. He plays like 5 or 6 different instruments, so
Hmm.
I'm never really bored in that scenario. So I did have to say, I just want to do this, as we say, as you're saying, dry or naked, all the poetry, no music at all,
Hmm.
for this particular project. And then if we ever need to put something to music, we could if we wanted to. We
Right.
have that portability, makes more sense. Um, but yeah, we were actually, I think maybe a part of it did it is both times that we worked on these projects, we had performed prior, very shortly before getting into the studio. So we kind of got our live thing out. Like, with the scenario with Friday night, our friend Johnny Mystic was playing. He plays in Johnny Mystic's band at the
Right.
Candy's Cafe in Long Beach. And I got up there and did something with the three of them. And then we went into the studio. So it was pretty quick. And then the other time was this very similar scenario where he was doing a brunch with a bunch of different saxophone players. And I got in a couple jazz tunes with them. Um,
Yeah,
so which is great.
it is great. Yeah.
Then we jumped right into the studio after that. So it was kind of a warm up. So maybe we got it out. It was a little easier to do it. But
Yeah.
Ben also runs a professional studio, so for him to turn on the hat, turn around the hat, it's very easy for him to do that.
That that's the stuff, man. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Just that vibe. Like, like sort of play a live show, go into the studio same day. That's really where it's at, I think.